This episode is brought to you by Anivia Pickleball, your premier destination for high-quality pickleball paddles designed to elevate your game. At Anivia, they are committed to providing players across Canada with innovative, performance-driven pickleball paddles crafted for durability, precision, and ease of play. Irene and myself are currently using their Gen 3 Pro paddle, and if you head over to Anivia.com and enter the code AGorman15, you get 15% off your order. That's AGorman15 at Anivia.com. All right, on with the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pickleball Diaries podcast. Happy holidays to everyone. How's it going, Vic?
Yes, we are actually recording at Christmas Eve, so we're very festive and ready. I'm not very festive, but Andrew is at least.
You got red on. So this is going to be our wrap-up episode, everyone. So once again, we want to say welcome. I'm, of course, Andrew Gorman, Victor Chan, certified pickleball referee, as your hosts. It's been an amazing year. We're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors that we have. So, of course, Tyrol for being the official footwear of the podcast. Head over to Tyrol.com and enter in AGorman20 to get 20% off. We got Cling, of course. We have Kitchen Blockers. Head over to Kitchen Blockers, AGorman10 for 10% off. And then, of course, TrackOps, of course, for doing our theme song, which was this is only like the third episode we've had it on. So this is awesome.
Nice.
And so we have a little bit of news before we do our wrap up, Vic. CNPL announced another trade. The Drive like trading their picks, apparently. So the Detroit Winter Drive traded with Toronto United. So Detroit Winter Drive traded their round 3 and their round 6 pick. So that's I think the round 3 is the third, ends up being the third overall pick or something because of how many players have been signed. And then the 25th overall pick.
Okay.
And then that's what Toronto United gets. And then what Detroit gets is round 4, pick 7. So that's the 10th overall pick. And round 5, pick 7. That's the 18th overall pick. Very interesting. This is very good for Toronto United. I don't quite understand how this is benefiting the Drive.
The Drive do already have. There's no way it's benefiting the Drive. Sorry.
Like they must have someone in mind that they know is going to drop, that they know no one's picking.
Either this or there is money under the table.
Yeah, because like when we heard rumors about this a week or so ago, I was almost like, I'm like, okay, does the Drive, did like the owner of the Drive lose a bet to Ricky and Andrew or something like that, and like this was the consequences of it? Because like this is huge for Toronto United because they already have a big 3 players already signed, and now that they're getting almost like the 6th pick in the 3rd round, which is basically almost like the 3rd overall pick.
Yeah, so
they can now pick an insanely top female to team up with Jada. Like, and if they pick who we think is like through the grapevine rumors, who we think they're going to pick, that automatically, at least on paper, propels them until we see what everyone else picks, propels them into what I would consider favorite to go first, to be first overall.
Yeah, almost elite.
Right. So and for the Drive, like the Drive have 3 players signed as well. I don't know why you're giving up such a high pick for your second male. And like we said, unless it's someone that nobody else is even looking at and they've somehow hidden this player in the weeds. And we know it can't be a U.S. player because they've already used their U.S. pick on Stevie.
That's true.
Right? So it's got to be a Canadian player that apparently nobody else knows about that they think is going to put this team over the top. Either that or they're planning on winning by committee and they're going to pick another 2 men and another female that they think they can do a rotating roster that's gonna do it. And like we've said, when we looked at the draft last year, there was a bunch of players not picked that we thought you could literally make 2 other teams out of.
That you could.
So unless the driver planning something like that where they can roll like what the equivalent of like 2 lines out, if you're for a basketball term, I'm really interested to see where the drive go with this, and interested to see like we said, we kind of know through the grapevine possibly who Toronto United's picking. We're not going to say just one, so we don't look stupid if they don't pick that person. And then two, it's not confirmed, but it's like been rumored for that.
Yeah, it could be me. They just didn't know. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening. I'm not even putting myself in the draft. I'm not even.
No, like we're technically both eligible to. We're basically both eligible to put our names in the draft, but neither of us are going to. So,
no, how we played last week, especially myself, I was like, anyway, we can we'll talk about that later.
You're way too hard on yourself, anyways. Like I keep telling you that. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting. One other piece of CNPL news is we all saw, and me and Vic kind of predicted this a couple episodes ago, was that Kim Layton has signed with the Owl Paddle Company.
Yeah.
So hint, hint, nod, nod, wink, wink for everyone. We're going to take a guess at where who's going to draft her. I'm not going to say the name, but it starts with an O and ends with an L. Right. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna, unless someone else steps in and takes Kim, I'm gonna take a guess and say that's where she's getting drafted at the draft in January. So
pretty high likely.
High likely with that, and also creates an insanely good top three for that team. Right. So. But yeah, so some last minute CNPL news with that. We still haven't seen a new name yet for the Pronghorns. Their logo is still off of the website. So no new logo yet. The Yeti logo is now up on the website, so that's officially on there. But we're assuming the Pronghorns are going to have a name change because of the fact that the logo got taken off. So, but we'll see. But we know the owner is based in Ontario, so I'm going to assume it's going to be some type of Ontario. Like I think that someone said the owner might have been from Waterloo, so it might be a Waterloo base team or something around there where they have an actual facility where they can have the players practice and do the community stuff, kind of like what the Yeti are doing, right? So
yeah.
So we'll stay tuned for that. Like we said, the draft is January, I want to say 27th.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
There's been a few they've had a few MILP qualifiers in Ontario. There is going to be one more in Ontario, I want to say on January 10th, that the Northern Lights are putting on.
Yeah.
So if you're in Ontario and you want to get if you want them to have one more good look at you, that would be one to sign up for. And then because I think the deadline for entering the draft is like the 19th. So if you have,
take a look at the email.
Yeah, fixing to double check that. But yeah, if you have ambitions and you wanna stick your name in the draft, it's if you've already been in the draft before, it's like $50. If you haven't been in the draft before, it's $100, and it's basically so they can do like a graphic above you and have your info and stuff.
The deadline is January 19th, so better put your name in quickly. And then the draft date is January 27th. It's going to be online.
I nailed both of those numbers.
Yeah, you nailed both. Yeah, $50 for returning player and $100 for new player, obviously.
Yeah, and it's basically so they can create your graphic and like have your info and all that stuff put in, whereas they already have your info and a picture of you from previous ones if you've been in the draft before. So, for example, Irene only costs $50.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, but that's about it for CNPL, at least for the end of this year. Aside from me and Vic don't know if we're doing the draft again this year. We haven't been asked yet. We are open to it.
We're always open.
And last year it was a last minute thing because Cam had strep throat or something like that, but he couldn't talk. So
something like that, and also they have a pretty bad winter storm, something like that.
Well, that was why we were a little bit choppy because Ontario was getting a real bad snowstorm the day of the draft. So, but me and Vic had to like the last minute, like less than 24 hours call for that. But we're totally down to do it again if they want us. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then so some other big news. So the APA. So it's. What does that stand for again? 1 second. It's the association. I got it on this shirt here. It's on the back of the Northern Lights shirt I got. Association of Pickleball Athletes. Now, originally, this was an Ontario-only circuit. It is now rebranded to be Canada-wide.
Yeah.
And this is headed up by Northern Lights owner Michael Chow. It is, and they've announced a massive slate for dates, and they're going to be all over Canada. So they have... right away, coming up, the Canada Cup at the Forge in Ottawa, February 4th and 8th.
Mm-hmm.
The Ontario Cup is going to be at the Smash facility in London, Ontario, March 4th and 8th.
Nice.
GTA Open at the One Health Club in Mississauga, April 1st to 5th. The Western Open, and all of you in Alberta pay attention to this, that's going to be at the new Pickleplex facility in Red Deer, April 22nd to 26th. So that's actually going to be a week after me and Vic's MILP event at the Pickleplex in Red Deer. So if you come for that, you might just want to book a hotel for the whole week and stay another week.
Yeah, exactly. Just stay there. Just stay there to watch the next one.
Because even if you don't want to play, definitely check in because you're going to see some really high-level pro action at that. The Northern Open, so it's to be announced where it's going to be, but that's going to be May 27th and 31st. APA Masters, Headwaters Orangeville, June 10th to 14th. The AU Open, same thing, location to be announced, August 12th and 16th. Ontario Grand Slam, which is going to be at the Pickleplex in Windsor, Ontario, September 9th and 13th. Toronto Open at the Pickleplex in Downsview in Ontario, October 14th and 18th. Vancouver Slam, same thing, location TBA. I'm going to take a guess and say either iPop or possibly the Nest would be probably the ideal locations for that, for the Vancouver Slam.
Nest is not technically Vancouver. I actually
it's close enough. It's just
was an hour. Oh no, it was an hour, freaking hour with the traffic for sure. More than an hour.
With traffic, but if it wasn't traffic, it would literally be like a 15-minute drive.
Yeah, forget it. Vancouver's not happening.
And you can take the LRT halfway down.
Maybe.
But that's on November 11th and 15th. And then the final, same thing, location to be announced December 2nd and 6th. So massive slate. Big shout out to everyone involved in APA. That's awesome. Hey, if you need us for commentators for that Pickleplex opening, now, mind you, I do want to play in that as well. Not in the open, probably 4.5. But if I'm not playing the same time as like the pro stuff, if you need a commentator, give us a shout. Right?
Yeah, we're here. We're here.
Vic, and Vic might want a ref, so because then
just give me a shout out to ref. I'll be there.
Yeah, exactly right. Because that's for Vic. That's what, a 2-hour, hour and a half drive.
2 hours from I'm north of Edmonton, so it's 2 hours.
Yeah, north of them, so about 2 hours out. It's a little bit longer for me. It's about 7 or 8 hour drive for me, but still, it's I go to Red Deer all the time for tournaments, so that's not that big of a deal for me. Especially it's in April, so the weather's gotten a little bit better at that point.
Should be better. I think so. Whatever you just announced is, I think it's the premier event. They still have a smaller division event also on the APA, but this is like whatever you just announced. This is the premier. They consider as a premier event, so it means that they probably have the better prize money and everything. This, if you go to their APA website, they are also listed the slightly lower end event. Just give me a second. Eventually you can talk a little. I have it there.
But this is good. We've needed a pro circuit like this on top of the CNPL, because like CNPL, like if we're going to use the US as comparison, so you got the MLP as the team thing, and you have like PPA and APP as like the regular style tournament stuff. This is what the APA is, right? It's the regular style tournament where the pros can go across Canada, play in at different facilities and different events. And the nice thing is all of these so far that are listed are all indoor, so you do not have to worry about weather. We've played in Pickleplex Red Deer. The spacing is awesome there, and
very nice.
We'll get to it a little bit later when we talk about it in our recap. But the PlaySide app, for those of you who like watching pickleball, just download it now because you're gonna want it for these future events.
Yeah, I'll be posting some of our matches we played last week at the Pickleplex with the play site, so you can take a look how's the camera angle and stuff like that. So definitely.
Did you get the one where I got the left-handed ATP? Did that one get caught?
I haven't checked yet. Maybe I haven't checked the whole thing
that might have been on your phone though, because when it went down for a couple minutes there, I can't remember. Okay. But I definitely want to grab that one and just do an individual post, because I did a full celly with it. I did a full like Archer celly with it too. So
nice. I only saw the one I did the Ernie on it on there. Anyway.
Yeah.
I haven't checked the whole thing yet.
But yeah,
It was a little weird on mine, because it was per court rather than actually per time. So I have to check. Okay, what time do I play, and to
Oh,
what was
okay.
so it's a little. It was not in sequence, so I need to like resequence them properly.
And what we probably should have done is we probably a couple times when we had a higher, they'll go over and hit that button, and it would have clicked it, and
Yeah,
then you would have had a timestamp to kind of play off of, right? So,
yeah, but
but
that's
e- but
that is what it
but
is.
either way, it was fun. But yeah, so this is awesome to see. I recommend for anyone in obviously Ontario has a bunch of these, but anyone in Lower
Mhm.
Mainland BC, and especially for those of us in Alberta, for at least the Western Open one, make sure you get out to this because we want more things like this. Right,
Yeah,
it gives more
definitely.
options. It gives more things for our pros, and it also is another tournament for just us as amateurs to sign up in and play in, and then being able to watch pros after the fact.
Oh yeah,
Right,
definitely.
so
So just to clarify, so whatever Andrew just announced all those days is called their premier event, okay? And then they actually has a lower brackets called the signature event, which they have actually the first one is January 14 to 18 is the United Open in the Pickler Hub in Mississauga. And then they have well, because Michael Chow is Chinese, so he make a Canadian Chinese game February 20th to 22nd in Grantsville, New Market. They have a Midland Open July 10 to 12, no, to be determined where it's going to be. Capital Cup, July 22nd to 26th at the Forge in Ottawa. Admiral Cup, November 4 to 8. No location yet. So basically, I think that the separation, I believe probably the prize money and probably do you get the ring or not. So that's another thing. The APA,
oh yeah, oh
if
yeah,
you
they're,
win,
they they
you
yeah,
get the ring.
they get those championship rings. So think like NHL or NBA championship rings. That's what you get when you win one of these events. I've seen lots of pictures, and I was like, man, I'm so jealous. I want one of those.
Yeah,
So,
it's not a small ring. It's a
oh
pretty
no, they're big. Yeah, they're big.
yeah, it's
They're
pretty big,
huge.
pretty substantial ring. So therefore, if you're sick of having medals, you won't have to have something else. That's another tournament you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, big shout out to Michael and the crew from APA for that. There's a bunch of people we know on their board and stuff like that. I think Corey's on there, Tiffany O is on there, and a few other
Yep.
people as well. So big shout out to the
Jason, not Jason. No, Jason's not down there.
yeah
Jason's just part of Northern Lights. Whoops.
yeah right. So but yeah, so super excited for that. We're looking forward to that. So I'm gonna have to make sure I get my dates booked off pretty quickly. I also need to go onto their website and see what days are what, because it's a 4-day event. So I want to make sure that I'm can get because I only have so many days off I can use with work, right? So I have to make sure I get the
Yeah,
events I want, right?
true.
So, but yeah, so looking forward to that. So big shout out to that. Now moving on. So now our year end wrap up, Vic.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna start off. Where is my little video here? I forgot to send it to you ahead of time. Anyway, so
Because
our Spotify Wrapped came in,
nice.
and oh, here it is. So I'm gonna forward this to you, Vic. You can look at it later because I'm gonna read it off for you, anyways.
Okay.
And then I'll obviously for those of you watching the podcast, I'm gonna have the graphic and stuff up here. But yeah, it went really well on Spotify for us. So we had, I'm gonna go through my little list here. So and we got awarded a 2025 Rising Star, a 2025 Marathon Show, a 2025 Fan Favorite. Our
Nice.
top countries we reviewed in. So number one, obviously Canada. That's where we live.
Obvious. Yeah.
U.S. was next. Panama
Nice.
was third.
Oh, okay.
United Kingdom was fourth, and Spain was fifth.
Oh,
So
interesting.
shout out to everyone in Panama, the UK, and Spain who will listen to this.
Oh,
That's
nice.
amazing. I think UK might be my niece and my future nephew, or might be one of them. But thank you to everyone,
Nice.
everywhere who's been listening. That's been amazing.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
because we do our video on Spotify as well, we were actually in the top 20 percentile on Spotify for
Oh,
video podcasts, which is
nice.
awesome. And then so our listening time in comparison to last year is up 82%. We're up 52% in followers.
Nice.
Total audience is up 123%.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Total new audience is up 500%.
Wow.
And then 82%. Yeah, I said the 82% listening time. Those are kind of the big things of it. There's going to be a few more things on the videos, but needless to say, a really good year. We've gone up a bunch on that, and that was just on Spotify. YouTube, we finally broke earlier this year. We broke over the 100 subscriber mark.
Nice.
Want to keep building that up as well, so then it opens us up more to different features that are available for creators and stuff on YouTube as we go. But yeah, big thank you to everyone who's been listening and watching and hitting like and subscribe and sharing it to everyone. We really appreciate that. Another Wrapped that came up, Vic, I don't know if you looked at yours yet, was Duper had their own version of Wrapped. Did you look at yours yet?
I know already. Mine. He doesn't. I don't need to for them to recap.
Mine wasn't too bad. Now, obviously, some stuff was locked behind the Duper Plus paywall, but my singles was amazing because I only played the only singles games I played that got recorded into Duper was at Nationals, and I went undefeated and won the gold. So like my percentage went up by like 400%, won 100% of like crucial clutch points and things like that. So nice. I was sitting around like 50-ish, 55% on doubles. So still pretty good. That's about average if you're playing at that high level. So yeah, so that was really fun. So aside from that, Vic, recap. So we'll start with the beginning of the year. We got to host the draft. We kind of mentioned that earlier, but yeah, it was last minute, but that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Obviously, talk about the players having the opportunity to actually get behind the CNPL. That's always an honor, and we definitely I've been talking about CNPL all the time, so we yes, there's some player we didn't know that well during the draft, but we did our homework to try to educate our audience as much as we can.
Yeah, one of the big ones that we weren't sure about for sure was some of the U.S. players, just because, like, we got the list of players like the night before.
Yeah,
and we were searching a bunch of them up, but like, you don't know who's getting drafted with the list of eligible players. So like, I think there was 200 players in the list or something like that.
Yeah,
it was a massive list, and I was trying to go through. I was like, okay, I know who this person is. I don't have to look them up. I know who this person is. I don't have to look them up. But I was like scrolling down because I remember, I think it was when Wes got drafted, where I was sitting there. I was like, who, and because I'm not like you and I don't follow PPA as closely or like the stuff, I wasn't 100% sure who Wes was until like Vic was like, oh yeah, he's in like the Pickleball Hall of Fame and like stuff like that. I was like, okay, perfect. At least one of us knows all that stuff, right? So, but yeah, for kind of a last minute cover, and obviously there was the storm in Toronto when that was happening, so there was a little bit of glitches going on, but I thought I had a lot of fun with it. It was fun to see how that went. So yeah, like we said, definitely be open to do that again.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should reach out to them.
Yeah, exactly right. And like the next big thing for us is we had a crap ton of player interviews this year on the podcast. I want to say last season, the only interview I think we had we had Yui. I had Yui.
Yeah, you had Yui, and I think that's about it.
I think that was it. I think Yui was the first person I ever interviewed on the podcast, and then but then if we go to the beginning of this year, we had we had a couple people who were we had the two ladies who wrote the Love and Pickleball book. We had the gentleman who has the oh my god, I'm blanking on the apps.
Oh, that nutrition app kind of thing was
the Pickleball nutrition. Yeah, the Pickleball nutrition app. We had them on. We had
actually, I actually have it. Give me a second.
Yeah, we had Lucas Wong on there. We had Joelle on there. We had Caitlin Soroka. You got to interview Ernesto. Of course, Steve Deacon, which was I couldn't believe we got Steve Deacon. That was amazing.
I know. I
right?
Know.
So.
Well, that's
AIM from AIM7. AIM7 was the app.
Yeah, exactly. AIM7.
There we go.
AIM7 is the app. I got lucky. Sean McCartan was very very good friend of mine. He was able to hook up with Steve Deacon. He was just asking, "Oh, do you want to get Steve on the pod?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. Why do I not
Yeah.
do not have Steve Deacon on the pod, right?" And it was so good. And then, well, obviously, Lauren liked Jason got Lucas Wan
Yeah.
on the pod, and Ernesto because of. I think we met him on the CNPL finals, not last year. Is it last year?
Yep.
Last
Yeah,
year, yeah.
well, that was awesome because I was in the same hotel as him and LC, and so actually me and Irene were chilling in the hot tub with him the night before the finals. So that was cool. And so I got to meet Ernesto that way, and then yeah, we kind of just like linked up, and then you got to go to Montreal and practice with him, and got to do the interview
exactly.
there.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
don't forget to check the 3-part series with Ernesto. A lot of people was telling me it was a very educational video because there's a lot of things you're like, oh, I didn't know we should do that. I was like, oh, I
yeah,
didn't
or so
know.
yeah, stuff you don't even think of, right? Like it's awesome
Like
when you get to pick the brain of the
just
pro
little,
players.
yeah, just little things like you think you're doing right, but you actually do it wrong, and that's just enough to kind of distinguish yourself being a high level and just a intermediate high level player. So that it's good to see how the pro level thinks versus our usual recreational play. So that and so sometimes it shows there's that's the reason why yes, drilling is good, but once in a while it's also good to take a lesson with the pro because they can sometimes point you out, okay, yeah, you're doing this wrong, do this instead, or oh, you're doing it right, but like add this onto your arsenal or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely, right. So, but yeah, so we got that. We got to talk to Caitlin Soroka and about her journey in recovery from the
Yeah,
massive
Kate.
injury she had and stuff like that, and her coaching the Prairie Pronghorns. We got to be as part of that the Team Canada World Cup as part of the players
Yeah, it's a
a part
selection
of the
team.
selection committee. That was
That
so
was
much fun.
Oh, that was so much
Um,
fun. That was I was stoked about it. I remember it was in July. You're sending me something. I was like, what? We got to select people. I was like, holy.
yeah, I know, right? Like because it was funny because like when it got announced that they were gonna do a team, I messaged you right away and I said, dude, that is awesome. Like I was like, you got so many good players to pick from. Then he just messaged back. He goes, hey, you and Vic want to be on it? And it's like, yes,
Like, why not?
absolutely,
Why
like
not?
absolutely, right? And it was fun. So like I made up the chart of all the players who like had applied and stuff, and I like basically made like a drop down tables and stuff. So like this is where you get like this was their duper number. This was like where they what province they were from, and like and by the sounds of it, a lot of I got a lot of compliments from the other members of the selection committee saying, "Oh, hey, this made it so much easier for me to go look up these players to
Yeah, that's
do
nice.
stuff with." Right, so that was cool. But no, yeah, that was super stoked about that. And then of course the team went on to do really well. Our juniors came in
Hmm.
fourth.
Yep.
Our open team came in eighth, and then our senior team got the bronze medal at the World Cup. So we, aside from the U.S., we were the only country to have a team have all three levels in the top eight
Hmm.
for every other country. So which was, and of course the U.S. swept it, but that was to be expected
Yeah.
to a degree, right? But yeah, super stoked with that. Then of course we got to do commentary on the CNPL. We did oh my god, I'm blanking. What was
Mm.
our first one we did?
Is it the season opener or
Yeah,
the first one?
we did a couple matches in the season opener. And then I don't think we ended up doing anything after that until we got to championship weekend, and then we did championship weekend, and we got to
Yeah,
call the
because
finals, which was
yeah,
awesome.
because the others they have a little they're still Jason was still working in order to get the remote commentary to link up properly. So we end up we're asked, but we didn't end up having to commenter some of them because of he was trying to set up properly the remote commentary.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Okay, so yeah, because even if you look at the season opener when we were on, there was a slight like second and a half delay between what was
Mm,
happening on the court and how we acted to it, and then but if you were
yeah,
listening to the broadcast, our reactions would be a slight delay. But then by the time we get to the
yeah,
championship
the
weekend and
final.
especially the finals, it was so crisp, right? Like
Mhm.
it was dead on with our voices coming across. We were getting really good countdowns because we could hear Jason and his team in
Yeah,
our one ear saying, "Okay, commercial break in 3, 2, 1," and was allowing us to cut out and stuff like that. So it was by the end of the year, we were like everyone was like locked into it. So big shout out to Jason and everyone
yeah.
from the behind the scenes crew
Yeah,
with that. So it was really
that was a great job, and they did, and they figured they just be able to figure out on the fly. Also, same thing to score. At first, it was taking a little time to take care of, and then they find a way. Okay, we'll get someone to get the score on the spot, and it just flowed so much easier. And then on our end too, like, oh, is it the right score are we talking about, or
yeah. Yeah, because
and
yeah,
anything?
because at one point we'd either be able to hear the players and not the ref, or we'd hear the ref and not anything else, type of thing,
Yeah.
right? But then, like we said, by the time we got to championship weekend, it was
Oh,
all
everything,
solid, right? So
everything flow as it should be, right?
yeah, exactly. Um, and then of course me and Irene went to nationals. Vic didn't because of he wanted to referee 65 plus players instead. Uh,
No, and which I actually didn't even do it
I
because
know you
I
didn't even
end up
end up
sick.
doing it, right?
I end up sick,
But
so
well,
actually,
that was the thing. Well, you probably would have gotten sick. You probably would have gotten dehydrated at nationals. We had a whole episode where we talked about this, like the good and the bad that was with nationals. Like yes, there was some
mm,
amazing games at every level that you got to watch or I got to even play in
yeah,
and stuff like that. And then just the letdown of one, the facility itself was not meant to have that many people in there. The tape kept
mm,
on peeling up, and then to combat that, you basically weren't allowed to be spectators. You had to be up in that stupid little room, so you couldn't even watch properly. And then nothing was broadcasted and things like that, right?
yeah.
So there was like I said, good and bad. Like Irene medaled twice. Her and Anya got silver and bronze in their two women's divisions. Me and Irene came fourth in our one mixed, and then I got gold in my men's singles. So like came away with some hardware, which is always the goal with that. So like yes, overall fun, but definitely things that need to be worked on for that. And from the scuttlebutt right now, it seems like they're not taking some of that criticism into account. It's not
Yeah.
nothing's confirmed yet, but we know it's going to be in Toronto Nationals next year. By the
Well,
sounds of it,
maybe that
maybe
sounds of it. Maybe I think
it, it
still not announced yet, but
it's not announced, but the scuttlebutt
high
seems to be
likely
it's
because Winnipeg was considered as west, so they're gonna go east
yeah.
this time. So high likely it's gonna be Toronto or Ontario into the Ontario region. We'll obviously have Pickleball Canada confirmed once they
Yeah.
have they announce. But again, if you're going to Toronto or Ontario area, you got pretty much no choice to go into a tennis facility, unfortunately, because unless you go to a convention center with in a pickle roll.
Yeah, and like they did get sponsored by the one company that does a similar thing to Pickle Roll, but they only got like what was it, 3 courts out of it or 2 courts out of it,
Yeah, I think two. I heard.
right? So that's the thing. Like I have like I'm totally fine with it being in Toronto. That's not the issue. But like if they stick it in another tennis facility, like I'm sorry, I'm not going.
Mhm.
Like I experienced that once. That was more than enough for me. Like I picked nationals over provincials this year. I'll go to provincials because we already know we are 99% sure where provincials are going in Alberta this year, and it's going to be in a facility, an actual
Well,
pickleball
exactly.
facility, right? So
And it makes more sense, right? You want to be in a like dedicated pickleball
yeah,
facility. Like what?
exactly.
Why don't why like? Well, I'm not gonna rant again, but I think you need to know as the Pickleball Canada, like right now. Okay, got it. Hence 3 years ago, 4 years ago, there's not much pickleball facility in the horizon, but there is so many that had open right now. So why it does
Well,
not all?
there's a lot that are fairly close to each other. Like, and I know they don't
Yeah.
want to do the separate venues and stuff like that. But honestly, like, man, do like 3-5 and under at one facility, do 4-0, 4-5 in another, do the pro in another if you need to. Like, if you need to use three.
I know,
But
but anyway, they should
and I understand wanting to have one location and have it as an event, so then everyone can kind of watch everybody, right? But until you find a location, because like we said, like with the Nest opening up in BC next year, with what was it, 315 or 513? What's the one in Calgary?
315.
315. With 315 opening up in Calgary, and also Mega Courts being in Calgary, there's three facilities right now that could technically probably host nationals.
I think
Right.
I think there is a couple in Quebec that has a
Yeah.
big facility that they're opening. So that's another, like
Yeah.
like you need to you need to incentivize
That's the other thing.
facility
Incentivizing the
facility to
facility
open. Hmm.
to, or yeah, and to go for it, right? And like we said, with the new sanction things now, aside from
National and provincial and
aside from getting
regionals,
refs and stuff, it's not like the sanction thing doesn't have much meaning anymore,
not
right? So
much.
it's gonna be interesting. But like I said, if they announce, I don't really care where it's gonna be, because if it's in a good spot, I'll consider going. But if it's in a
Well,
tennis facility again, I'm not gonna go.
yeah. Well, the only but I did have a chat with one of my referee mentor about sanction. Don't right now one of the biggest buy of having a sanctioned tournament over a non-sanctioned tournament is the insurance. Like the players has insurance when you're playing on the sanctioned event versus a non-sanctioned event, which you might not do not have a insurance for injuries or stuff like that. Because usually in a non-sanctioned tournament, mostly you have to sign a waiver of
Yeah.
some sort versus a sanctioned tournament. If let's say you got injured, you can actually claim on Pickleball Canada.
Well, yeah, and yeah, well, which actually kind of leads us into our next thing. We got a response back. Very unlikely that any MILP event will be sanctioned by Pickleball Canada.
Yeah,
It doesn't even from what the response on the email said, they're not even looking to attempt it.
no,
They're not even looking to attempt to collaborate or anything like that. Which, once again, we're
doesn't
saying
surprise
why.
us.
It doesn't surprise us, but it's also frustrating, saying this is something to help grow the sport. It's another type of format. It's a fun format for players to play. It's a the team based stuff. It's rally scoring, so for tournament organizers, the games flow a little bit quicker, right? But it's it was just the response was a very blanket statement saying they use this type of scoring that's not approved.
Very generic
Uh,
statements.
yeah,
Basically, they don't. They're not.
generic response. Basically, was like, yeah, until they change the rules, we're not doing it. And it was like, you're not even gonna, talk and work with them. Maybe get like an addendum to the rules saying, hey, this is like an event, because like aside from the scoring, which honestly we do rally scoring, which they already approve of because they did it for,
Well, it's a
they did.
different. It's actually a different rally scoring. To be
It's
honest
like
with you.
it's slightly different rally scoring, but what I mean is that aside from the scoring mechanism, everything else is fine.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
like they're like, especially when me and Vic run the event, we have refs for the medal matches and like the quarterfinals and
Mm.
stuff like that, right? We and our events we use the Franklin ball, so we're using an approved ball and things
Mm.
like that. We're in a like, and so like it's literally the scoring system, and I'm like, you can't work on a collaboration and have an addendum in there for MILP events,
Well,
right?
and think about it. Like right now, I'm not saying we are organizing a lot event, but if you combine
If you combine
whatever
MLP
Vancouver,
across Canada,
yeah,
there's a lot.
Vancouver, us, there was Lauren Lights Pickleball, and then you have Legend Pickleball in Montreal that are organizing, and Ontario, with Pickleplex and High Sport. Think about it. That's even more tournament than any sanctioned event that you just throw in Pickleball Canada.
But if you just count us and the Northern Lights guys in Calgary, Vic, once we have all of our tournaments locked in, we'll have done more tournaments than any Alberta sanctioned tournament.
There you go.
Right, because we're aiming for 5 to 6. Northern Lights has already got 2 lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Right, or I think one. I think they've done
one.
And I think they got one. They got one, but they already have one lined up. Yeah, they have one lined up for next year already, right? So it's like, so we have 3 already locked in. They have 1, so that's already 4. We're trying to lock up a bare minimum of a 4th one for us, so that'd be a 5th. So that's already 5 MILP tournaments just in Alberta.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, a lot of times I barely got to go to 5 tournaments in a year the last couple of years, right? Because there wasn't enough, and I wouldn't go to anything that wasn't sanctioned because I was like, well, what's the point? I want to get my rating up. Well, now. And the only reason going to a sanctioned event previously before Duper was named the scoring system was to get your rating up so you could play in the appropriate category at either provincials or nationals. Well, now because everyone uses Duper,
doesn't matter
like
anymore.
that's no longer like you said. The only really thing is now is for insurance purposes, and if you do get approved by Canada, you can get a little bit of funding. That's literally the only reason for a sanctioned event. For a player wise, aside from the insurance thing, it doesn't really matter.
No.
And honestly, we're in Canada, so insurance wise, if you get hurt, it's not like it covers medical bills because we have free healthcare.
Yes and no. It
like
depends
we live in Canada.
Sure, it depends on how badly you injure. Anyway, we're not going to go into too much of it.
But basically, what I mean is that the term for a sanctioned tournament has now, because they've gotten rid of the CTPR rating system.
Yeah, it has less weight.
It has less weight now if it's a sanctioned tournament, unless it has the title of like provincials or Western regionals or nationals by it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
I agree. It has definitely less weight than it used to be. I say that, and also, and what frustrates, I think, another thing in the official perspective is that there's not much sanctioned tournament. Like let's say I'm just a referee in one province like this. In Alberta, we're lucky we have so many tournament, but still, you have lapse of time like between almost October to March. There's virtually 0 tournaments running. There's no sanctioned tournaments running. So like as a referee, I want to keep up, be able to continue to ref, to get better, like to see the different situations, so I can manage the situation. So if I get at least one tournament a month that I can referee, I'm happy, because I can keep up with my knowledge. I can keep up with everything. But now, like, you're seeing, I have like almost like a 7 to 8 month gap that I don't referee. I gotta be rusted when I gotta get started restart referee.
Especially if you're not an older referee who's a snowbird.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
At least our older referees who are snowbirds, they go down to the U.S. and they'll do a bunch of games there to keep themselves sane. But someone like you who has a job, who can't leave, right? So you can't do that. And it's not like you can line up your dental things when you go down to the U.S. with a tournament and go ref a couple games, right?
Yeah, usually it doesn't work that way. I try to, it never worked that way. So it's frustrating, right? But now, like, if we're doing multiple tournaments that that could be sanctioned by Pickleball Canada, and that we put ref on there. Here we go. I get people. I get referee to get engaged into those tournaments. I get them to continue to apply their knowledge. I get them engaged. Hey, we have tournaments. Hey, let's come in. They will provide some monetary compensation. Everything. That's perfect.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And for example, for us, for our events, because we're getting refs only for, semifinal or basically the bracket side. So like semifinal, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and bronze, right? If we could get sanctioned and get like the subsidy from Pickleball Canada, I'd be willing to have even more games refed, because I would just take that subsidy and stick it towards the refs.
Yeah,
right.
Because right now we're stuck.
We're stuck. So it's like, okay, well, we're gonna do where we consider it like, because in our opinion, it's like, okay, you have to have a bare minimum quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and bronze. That has to be ref because now you're dealing with, you know, prizes, medals. All of our events are epic qualifiers now, so the ability to qualify for that epic World Pickleball Championship, right? So it's like there's stuff on the line. You need a ref there.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But like, yeah, because like, but even for me, like, there was like not necessarily the games I played in our last event, but like I know there was some people who came over, talking to the roaming official saying, "Hey, I didn't agree with this call that they did in like a round robin game," because that's going to happen,
Yeah,
right?
that's
But I was
gonna
like,
it's gonna
but if you had
always
a if
gonna
you had a
happen.
if you had a ref on the court, it'd be good. But it's like we can't afford to have that many officials at a small event like that, right? Whereas, like I said, if that subsidy thing was available, I would totally stick that entire subsidy towards officials. Because
Yeah,
I know
definitely.
myself as someone who used to be a referee for basketball, I know how much work goes into, like, you know, studying up on the game, understanding the calls, managing the players' like emotions and stuff like that. If a player is a hothead and things like that, right? So it's hard work, and like you appreciate the officials. And like I said, if I could get more officials work and pay them for it, I
Yeah,
would,
I
right? But
know.
it's like you also have to draw the line where it's okay, what can we do and what can we actually afford,
Hmm.
right? So it's one of those things. But
It's frustrating.
anything else for the year recap, Vic, that I possibly missed?
Well, we the
Aside from the obvious big one is you're a dad now.
yeah, I was about to say that. Anyway,
I know we were talking
that's
more
a
so. I know we were talking more so pickleball stuff, but yeah, you're a dad now.
yeah.
So,
I'm a dad now. That's a big one. Obviously that changed quite significantly in my life, and I'm definitely grateful. Having my little one, Selena, my little daughter with me is definitely good. Maybe I train her as the new the future Annalie Waters. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
either
With
that or if she plays hockey, make sure she shoots right-handed.
okay, maybe.
Because no, right? Because
Uh,
right-handed players are rare, and so it's more likely you get like picked up.
I don't think I'm gonna get her to playing
No, because
hockey.
because that's expensive as hell.
Not just that. I think just I and that's maybe a little bit of racism in there or whatever. But in Chinese, we Asian body are not that much that is as well. Taking hits compared to other
I don't know.
other.
I think Christina Chin might disagree with you on that there, Vic.
Yeah, I know. There is always some odd one, but like myself, if I take a hit, I think I'm done for the year, and that's right.
Okay, don't ever play basketball with me, Vic. I might break you,
Yeah,
man.
like that's why I don't. I like yes, I played basketball in the high school, but it was like just like eh, chummy high school uh, uh, basketball. I don't like you don't want to play like American football. Like I don't play soccer. I don't like you look at most of the Asian, like the Asian are really playing more like basically not as much as the like when they excel, they don't excel at the contact sport. They excel at badminton, they excel in ping pong, right? Those sport there's okay, the ball you can argue you can get hit by the ball, but still like it's not like I'm gonna hit the other guy in order to get the ball. No, I hit the ball in order to get a different to win,
I guess we're not
right?
counting martial arts then, right?
Well, even martial arts, like right now, like if you look at the martial arts in like you look at MMA, like this is the biggest one right now in
No,
television. There's not much like there's not much Asian in there. Yeah, I know there's kung fu. There is like the
no. But
wushu.
if you're talking about MMA though, it's because Japan has its own,
Yeah.
which and it's also weight class wise. UFC doesn't push a lot of like the under a certain amount of weight. Like
Hmm.
they're all into like the heavyweight and all that crap.
Hmm.
Also, UFC has been stupid to watch lately. It's turned into boxing now, which is just dumb. I used to be big into UFC because I used to do a lot of martial
Yeah.
arts, and stuff like that. But and it
Yeah,
used to
it's
be good because
turning more like a show and then
it's
anything
yeah, it's
else.
well because it's like if the champ doesn't want to fight the guy, the match doesn't happen. Whereas before, if you're the champ, you fight the number one contender. That's how that works. Whereas now that's not how it works anymore. So it's gotten into that stupid
Well,
territory, which is what's always pissed me off about boxing as well.
yeah, but anyway, that's just my take. We're not as strong as taking hits. That's the reason why. Like Christina and anyone else, like probably Erin can definitely said to me, no, Victor's totally wrong and anything. But that's just my take. Don't be offended. Don't start trashing me on social media. Just my that's just my take.
Victor's pre-arguing.
Right. Like that's the reason why I don't play contact sport. Yes, I did kung fu and stuff like that, but it was like more like kind of a practice routine. I'm not gonna fight someone.
Oh
like
yeah, so you were doing like the katas and the forms, but you weren't. Yeah, so you didn't do like the point sparring and stuff.
No, not at all, not at all. Because
okay.
I know if I take a hit, I'll be dead.
No, yeah, but that's if you go into the full kickboxing. Like if you do like the traditional tournaments where they like break after a single point is scored, it's not too bad.
Even so, I for some reason like and that's probably just by my own experience. Like I haven't got a very good physique. Like okay, I look bigger now. I look like a normal person. But
you were definitely a stick growing up. I can tell.
Yeah, kind of thing, and I have like problem with my back. I have a lot of problem, I have a lot of different issue when I was when I was young. So that's why I was my parents was very tentative for me to start in anything that was too physique. Myself, I'm very self aware. I'm not gonna like there's no way I'm gonna get into a fist fight into someone because I know I gonna get my ass kicked or stuff like that. So it doesn't look that way now. I'm playing pickleball. People's like, well, like Victor is freaking aggressive playing a pickleball. Anyway, but I'm not like I wasn't that I wasn't that way. It took a while. Like the martial art helped me to get better. But anyway, we're going
and also creates confidence too. I remember when I started martial arts as well, and just the confidence level goes up.
We're going tangents. We're going on tangents.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a wrap up year. We're allowed to go on tangents for a wrap up.
We'll go back to pickleball. I think you did a couple. We have different couple of different segments. We have the segment with the clean. I think with that you did for clean.
Oh yeah, so that's another good one too. So I teamed up with Kling, and I was basically producer / editor for their Kling on the Court podcast that Lily does, mostly featuring Jeff Elwood as the pro who comes on there, and a lot of good information on there. Especially if you already know the basic fundamentals of pickleball, listening to Jeff explain different strategies and different even just muscle movements and stuff like that in regards to how to play and how to think of. Obviously, one of the big takeaways from that show is communication. With the partner, like and understanding what your partner's good at, what you're good at, and stuff like that. So they have about 26 episodes up, nice. Which has been really good. They're a little slow now lately because they've been so Lily's been so busy with like running the Kling Cup that just finished up. So they haven't had a new episode in a little bit, but it's been real. I've loved editing that because it's just I basically get to listen to the episode before anyone else, and then you just get to edit it. Of course, we've had you and Dewey doing paddles at the hub. We've had a couple episodes of that, which have also been really good. Another episode coming pretty soon, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we were I'm looking to record. Dewey is not available, so I'm gonna bring one of my buddy Corey to as my sub co-host.
There you go. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's gonna be. We'll talk. We'll see. We'll talk a couple of different new paddles. We'll see. Hopefully, the New Year's I'm able to get more the new paddles and talk about them just to give people with a different perspective of the paddle world, especially is ever evolving for sure. I'm pretty sure next year, it's a different technology is gonna take over. Like there's new paddles every month, so it's hard to keep up as some way. Like which paddle are we now right now? Like which is the top paddle right now? Like is
Yeah, have you ordered that Tesla paddle yet?
no, that's a little too expensive. And anyway, I'm not gonna play with that paddle. So I was like, I don't know. I'm not gonna order that one. Nah, I didn't order that Tesla paddle. It didn't. It didn't look.
They didn't sell you well enough on it.
Nah, that's not enough. Like even though I was like, oh, that's a cool collaboration. I was like, I don't think it's gonna play that good anyway. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I opt out. If I think uh the only argument I can say if I want to buy this paddle is be able to hang it on the wall just to
Yeah.
It looks cool.
And at like 400 something Canadian, that's a expensive little just showpiece, right?
That would be a little too expensive. It's
hard to convince your wife of that purchase.
Oh no,
of it being a worthy purchase, right?
No, exactly. Unless I can get it right off from our MILP.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So that's kind of the wrap up of the year. But well, let's move forward to the new year coming up. So as we've already announced for a couple of them, we have a bunch of MILP events coming up that we're hosting, which are all epic qualifier events. For those of you who missed the podcast where we talked about epic, epic, of course, is the new kind of like amateur kind of like getaway tournament. That's the first event's going to be held in Singapore in April 30th to May 3rd. And it's literally like a luxury vacation hidden inside a pickleball tournament. Like, there's prize money now. It's if you're just trying to sign up without qualifying for it, it's like $888 US.
Yeah, it's expensive.
So stupid expensive. So obviously you want to go to a qualifying tournament. So all of MILP is a qualifier. Also, if you're trying to sign into another tournament, say on pickleball.com, it should say in their description whether or not they're an epic qualifier. It actually doesn't cost the tournament organizer anything to become an epic qualifier. But by finishing first, or I think finishing either first or like the top two teams in your division at these events, you get basically like the discounted sign up rate for it, which is like significantly cheaper. But like you go to this tournament, there's prize money for every division. There's like luxury cruises that you can win if you finish in like the top 2 or 3. Obviously you get to connect with a bunch of like big names in big name promoters and stuff in pickleball. You get like, and the first one's in Singapore. You get to visit Singapore, which is cool. I haven't been there yet. So and it's like there's like festival, like music stuff going on, festivals. Like it's like we said, literally like a luxury tournament. Or a luxury vacation inside of a pickleball tournament, which sounds really cool. So yeah, all of our MILP stuff are qualifiers for that. So like we announced before, our first event is February 7th and 8th at the Hub in Edmonton. That's the first 3V MILP event in Canada. We beat out Emily by a week.
There you go.
So sorry, Emily, but we wanted the credit for the first one in Canada, so that's why we did it then. We already have I think 8 teams signed up for it already, or 7 or 8 teams signed up, which is awesome. Then we have a regular team event at the Pickleplex in Red Deer, which we already mentioned as well. That's on March 14th and 15th. Me and Vic just came from playing in a fun tournament at the Pickleplex this past weekend, where we got like Joel was there, Hato was there, Jacob was there, James was there as like the 4 kind of pro people. Then we got to play a bunch of other high level players from around Alberta in the men's event. Which was really fun. We started off a little slow, but we did end up making our way to the finals of the consolation brackets, losing, I think it was 15-12. Vic was really hard on himself.
I was very salty myself. I was like, I played like crap. Sorry. I was just like, I don't know. I still haven't finished watching my whole footage. Oh my god. I was like, I feel like first of all, it's like, man, I'm letting Andrew down. I'm causing him the match, and then secondly, it's like, why am I missing some easy shots? What is going on? And then the other thing is like, why any of my regular shot was not kind of working. So I was like too stuck. I was like too stuck mentally in that until I think the game that matters.
Well, yeah, basically it was it was basically if we lost the game, we were done. If we won, we went on to the quarter or the semifinals, and we were just like, hey, you know what? Let's just slow everything down. Let's just third shot drop and just dink the crap out of everything, and then
exactly.
and we locked in. We locked in, and we played good. We played good that match. We played good the following the semifinals after that. We even played good in the finals. There's just a couple of unforced errors cost us because I think we let them get up to like a 6-0 lead.
No, we actually were in the big hole. We were like 9-1 or 9-2, something like that. And then it was a game to 15, obviously.
And a game to 15, and we battled our way back. We ended up losing 15-12. But no, yeah, it was really good. We locked in by the end of it, and hey, like we said, it was a good kind of warm up to see what we need to work on for because we're playing as a team for both the hub and the Red Deer one. Our other one coming up, which that we don't have the graphic yet, and we haven't like properly announced it yet, but is going to be at the YEG pickleball facility in Edmonton on April 18th and 19th.
You see it on my sofa, it's there, but it's the wrong date. Don't look at it.
Yeah, that's our because the YEG is where we had our one in September last year. So
well, I have the other two already on there. If you see that, the graphics are up. Or if you head to the hub, I think I put them everywhere at West Hub, so you're probably not gonna miss it.
Yeah, exactly. And we made sure the QR code was right, so it takes you right to the website.
Sorry, Michelle and Vin, I probably annoy you a little bit by putting so many posters. Even Jacob is like, "Oh, are you gonna put it everywhere on every court? Are you gonna put it out across the city?" And
what I would have said, my response then if I was there with you, I was like, "Turn around, Jacob. I'm gonna put one on your back." Right, But no, yeah. So it's we've already gotten some signups already for our one at the hub in February. Our team is in now for the Red Deer one because I just signed us up for that. We're playing with Irene and Anya in the Red Deer one. We haven't signed nothing signed up yet for the YEG one because we're waiting for the graphic to show up, and then we'll do the proper announcement video. But like we said, April 18th and 19th. We're planning another one in Red Deer, probably the May 30th, 31st weekend. We don't have it locked up yet. We're still working on it, but get ready for the announcement for that. So that'll be 4 in the first 5 months of the year right off the bat. Probably after May, we're going to take a break because that's when the summer tournament schedule starts, and there's just too many tournaments going on, so there's no way to do that. So we'll probably come back in September, probably for one in Edmonton, and then October, either in Edmonton again, or we might do like a September Red Deer and then Edmonton October or something like that. But we're aiming for 5 to 6. And like we said, all of them will be aside from being MILP, and you get your MILP points, which allows you to go to the Western qualifiers, which then can qualify you for the nationals.
And this year at the Western regionals, you actually have prize money. Like compared to last year, there's no prize money by winning the Western regional. This year,
it was just basically the registration for nationals. But now, and I think the whole reason behind that is they want to give the winner a little bit of money to help them get to wherever the nationals are going to be at. Because like they were in Dallas this year, for a lot of us, that's fairly pricey flight. You got to fly there. You got to get like an Airbnb or a hotel room or whichever, right? And then and then obviously transit to and from the facility depending on where it is, right? So like you get your MILP points, so you get your rating for that. Obviously, it's all duper rated, so your duper can go up or down depending on how you play. So you can qualify not only for the duper, well, not qualify for the duper nationals, but to get yourself in the running to qualify for the duper nationals for the regionals. If you're playing in the duper 20 or 22, it also makes you eligible to be drafted into the CNPL. Yeah, and obviously, like we said before. If you win any event, no matter what level it is, you qualify for the Epic Pickleball World Championship. So like we said, this coming April 30th to May 3rd It's in Singapore. They're planning on having it around the world. I wouldn't be surprised if they do Singapore again really quickly, though, as it's kind of like the first spot. But like, don't be surprised if you see it in the States. Don't be surprised if you see it maybe somewhere in China, because I know they just announced that like I think over 50 China clubs are going to be like have Epic as like a qualifier event. So don't be surprised if they do an event there. But it's basically like we said, luxury getaway. So there's that options, right? So now MIOP is basically like, not only do you get your duper up, not only can you win cool like swag like this shirt or like other things. I might as well say it now. We got thanks to Kling, we have a bunch of Northern Lights jerseys that we're going to be giving out at the Red Deer events. For those of you who don't know, Joel Pelche, who's the main pro at the Red Deer Pickleball Plex, plays for the Northern Lights. Yeah. So for those of you in Alberta who are Joel Pelche fans, you can possibly win the jersey of the team that he plays for. Maybe you can get him to sign it at the event as well if you win, right?
Oh yeah, that's definitely a cool prize.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of other sponsors. We got Skechers, we got of course Anivia, Kitchen Blockers, Nature's Path. And we'll call out this one right now. So for our one in Edmonton, we have the Rec Room is donated a couple of bands, and we also have Neil Brothers are going to be donating chips, and for all of the events we also have Eula donated a bunch of pickleball bags and stuff, which is awesome. So we've already got a bunch of new sponsors. We're trying to get a couple more lined up for everyone. So we can all have giveaways. So like obviously first you get medals, you get some MIOP swag. We'll probably have some prizes for first place as well on top of that. We're going to have the usual best dressed and stuff like that for the event. So they're just like, we're obviously promoting ourselves here, but they're really, really fun events. We supply drinks, snacks. We do a lunch each day for the event and things like that. So like, it's like, in my personal opinion, it's well worth the money. And of course we have referees for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals and stuff like that. Right. So really looking forward to that. Hopefully we can do a good enough job that maybe not get the Western Regionals this year, but do a good enough job and maybe UE looks at us for the Western Regionals for 2027 type of thing, right? So
yeah, that'll be great.
And also the plan is, connect with the facility owners and maybe we can get some dates locked up way in advance, and that way we know and we're not trying to scramble spots like we've had really like last year or even this year where we're trying to still find locations, right? So like big shout out to like Declan and them at the YAG, big shout out to Vin and Michelle at the Hub, big shout out to Ryan and Joel being the pro at Pickleplex already, for being very welcoming us with open arms and stuff like that, right? So we already have kind of like the contacts with those guys, so like the more we link up with different facilities and stuff like that, the more we can get stuff booked way in advance, and then that way makes it a lot more streamlined and makes it a lot easier for us to ask sponsors to donate stuff, because we can say, well, we have this date already lined up. This is what we did previously. So it makes it more kind of established and more well-run looking type of thing, right? So
yeah, definitely.
Of course, other big things we're hopefully looking forward to. Hopefully we get to do a lot more player interviews for the CNPL. I know we have a player interview of someone who played in the CNPL this year. Don't know if he's signing up next year to be in the draft, but we'll see. But Vic's got that interview, and we won't announce the name yet because it's not 100% confirmed yet. But he's already kind of semi-agreed to do it. So, but that might be the very first episode.
Well, we'll keep it quiet for now.
We'll keep the name quiet, but it'll probably be like first or second episode next year, which will be fun. We want to make it out to a live CNPL event, hopefully. Looking at the schedule, realistically, probably Western Split is probably the easiest one for us to make out, and it's not even that easy.
Yeah,
which is the funny thing, because we live in Alberta. It's more than likely going to be in BC at the IPOP. So, and for both of us, that's a flight, unless we want to drive like 12 hours, which I don't think either of us want to do.
There's no way we're driving. On top of that, forget it.
Yeah, because that's like the beginning of isn't it like May or something like that? No, it's or March, or is it March? I can't remember.
Probably.
I'd have to go back and look, but either way, like it's
It's
It
May
might
is
not.
sketchy.
It's May. Yeah, May is sketchy.
Yeah,
May is sketchy for Alberta, especially if you're because we'd have to drive through the mountains, so that's really
yeah,
sketchy
exactly.
for.
The mountain can be pretty rough.
Yeah, so more than likely it would be a flight, which means probably for me to even to make it cheap, I'd still have to drive 5 hours to Edmonton first to
Yeah.
fly because I was checking flights from like Grand Prairie and from like Fort St. John's, which are the two closest small airports to me, and the price difference is just
Yeah,
not feasible.
it's tough.
Right. So hopefully we get to do a bunch more, even if it's just remote broadcast for CNPL, because that's always fun. Obviously with the APA coming, I want to make it out to the Red Deer one in April, which obviously is the weekend right after our event. So I'll probably have to use all my April time off for between the two. But yeah, I really want to make it out for that because then that way, because even just to meet and chat with like Michael or Michael Chow and like all of them and see some of the pro plays and stuff like that, right? So, but want to play in that as well. So there's a bunch of those things. We'll see where provincials are. We'll see where nationals are. Like I said, nationals being more than likely on the east makes it a little bit harder for me and Irene to go just because flights in Canada are not cheap.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a ripoff because that's what happens when you only have realistically two airlines that have a monopoly.
Yeah, indeed.
Right. So that's going to be iffy for that. But provincials it'll probably more likely be we'll go to provincials instead. And by the sounds of it, it's probably going to be in Calgary, which makes sense because right now Calgary has the two big facilities that would be able to host, right?
Yes,
because
exactly.
enough of the outdoor stuff. As much and this is not a shot at, once again I'll say it again, not a shot at Medicine Hat or Red Deer for the outdoor facilities, but we're getting to the point now where especially Red Deer always gets affected by weather every single time.
Well, even Medicine Hat.
Yeah.
Even Medicine Hat the wind. Holy.
Right. And the wind, yeah, Medicine Hat gets the wind a bit, but Red Deer gets the wind really, really bad. So it's to the point now where we have two big facilities. Let's use them.
Yep.
Right. Like let's use them. Then you don't have to worry about any weather delays, anything like that. It's literally show up, play the games, and go. Just will make the tournament that much easier to run. I already know that Calgary Pickleball Club has done like an agreement or something with the 315. So that's like their home facility now, so it might be easier for them to get that because I know Pickleball Alberta is a little bit stickler with giving it just to a facility. It usually has to be like co done by a club.
Yeah.
Right. So I know Mega Courts is making a big push for it, but because Calgary Pickleball Club has that in with 315, that might be the one that gets the nod because of that reason.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think that also price also is a factor too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, price and then and I'm not even too worried about there being a cash prize at provincial, but there has to be something from sponsors. Like at least at nationals, like I said, like you got the really cool tumbler, you got the bag of chips if you got first place. Like that was really cool. Medals are always nice, but especially for at least the open division, you have to have a little bit something extra, right? If you want to get the pro stuff, because like no pros were there last year.
Well,
right?
Yeah, understandably.
No pros were there last year, and the 4.5 for both mixed women and men. And everyone can, and I don't care if you won it or not at this, you can agree that it was diluted.
Yeah, it's a little diluted.
Like
for sure.
there was I looked at who was competing and like not saying there wasn't good teams there, but normally those teams would have a much tougher road to get to the finals.
Will be a better competition. Like just say it this way, I will say it will have a better competition. This year is a little bit like
you knew who was winning when you looked at it. If you knew roughly the players involved, unless something miraculous happened, you knew who was winning each division.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't really close, especially in mixed. Mixed. It was like if this one team doesn't win, something weird happened.
Yeah,
right.
Almost.
And same thing for men's. Men's was like if this one team doesn't win, something weird happened. And then I think women's was the one where I think there might have been 2 or 3 teams that were possible, but still one team had a bit of the nod.
Yeah, it's
right?
just too bad. They put it all the way to Medicine Hat. You're like, oh my god,
Well, and like I
why?
played at provincials. That was our very first provincials for me, and I think was that your guys' first provincials too, Vic?
Yeah, it was my first potentials.
Right? And like it was good. Like I had a really good time there, and it was really nice. But yeah, for me, that's a 12-hour drive.
Yeah, like for me also like think about like I've been there once. Why am I going?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's yeah. Same with me. Like I went there for the one because they also hosted Western Regionals the one year, and I didn't end up going to that.
Yep.
And because it's just that's a long drive for me, right? Like
Oh,
put it this
that's
way. Like my daughter is a competitive swimmer. Medicine Hat is hosting provincial trials this year for swimming, and Irene said to me, she goes, "Me and Kim are jumping on a plane to Calgary and
yeah.
then renting a car." She goes, "I'm not driving that
That's
because
a
that's a
well,
that's a because
it's
and
too
my daughter's
far.
already qualified. Like she
Uh,
qualified in her very first swim this year
that's
already for it.
that's
Now.
that's that's so good for her.
Now, the way swimming works is there's provincial trials and then there's also championships. So championships are a little bit faster. So the way to get into championships is having even faster time, or you win at trials,
Got you.
right? So Irene joked with our daughter and said, "Okay, you only need about to shave off like a half second to get a championship qualifying time. Can you please do that so we don't have to fly down? Because championships is going to be in Edmonton."
Ah, there you
Because
go.
well, because normally what they do is championships is in either Edmonton or Calgary, and then the trials are in the other, and they usually rotate between the two. But for some reason, Calgary's not hosting it this year, right? So that's
Then
why it's in Medicine Hat. So it's just like, ooh, that's a long drive, right?
yep.
So, but yeah, so it's one of those things, but it'd be no different than if Peace River tried to host a tournament. That's really far out of the way for everyone because we're
That's
literally
true.
like almost the opposite of Medicine
Yeah,
Hat.
you're going north.
We're the northern version of Medicine Hat, right? Now we don't have
Mhm.
enough pickleball courts to host anything here. Like we have like 4 outdoor ones that are only good for like 3 months out of the year, and then we're playing in a multiplex. But like if we got a pickleball facility, like us hosting a tournament, okay, you might get Grand Prairie people, and you might get maybe like a Dawson Creek kind of surrounding area. You're not gonna get anyone from Edmonton. You're not gonna get anyone from Red Deer. You're not gonna get anyone from Calgary. No way.
No, it's too far.
Right? Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just too far. So it's understanding with that, right? So, but yeah, so looking forward to like obviously our MILP stuff. I'm
I'm
still
hopefully
I'm still trying to put the screws to Irene to say, okay, if we win like at the hub or at Red Deer, do we want to go to Singapore because we'll technically be qualified, right?
Oh yeah, you put the screw on her.
I'm trying to slowly. I'm like, hey, I can do 1 week of annual leave and like let's go do that because actually flights to Singapore aren't too bad when I was looking at them.
Okay.
And like my big pitch with that is, hey, if we do well, we win money and it pays for itself then, right? So
Yeah, true. True. It
which
will
would be the
work.
big thing. Now that's not going in and assuming we're gonna win. Like that's just saying, hey, if we go in and we win, like then hey, you win money, you win, and it's US money, so you win US money, which is almost double Canada money right now. So
Oh
but
yeah.
it's like so that would pay for the flights, that would pay for this, like, and it also you get a free 3-day cruise out of it if you finish in the top 3. Like
There you go.
I'm like there's a lot of upside to go with. Right? So
No, it will be a good vacation. Let's put it that way.
exactly right. So yeah, I'm trying to slowly whittle her down so by the time it happens and if we do win one of the MILP ones, then I'm like, hey, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
Right. So
definitely. My side, hopefully I can continue to kickstart better on my paddle at the hub. Hopefully I get I'll see if I got more time to work on some pickleball gimmick stuff, so we can talk aside just the pickleball paddle, some pickleball like equipment like bags or little tuning system that you can actually help your game. I'm a techie guy, so I like those nerdy stuff, we call that.
yeah, exactly. Um, one more thing. So, and this is more for the Pickball Red Deer at Pickleplex, but for those of you who haven't downloaded this app yet, so download the Play Site app.
Mm-hmm.
The Pickleplex has it. I know like the Forge had it at the at the World Cup. But
Yep.
if you go play at Pickleplex and Red Deer and you have this app, there's a QR code on I think every court except for what, one or two?
No, there's 3 court that doesn't have it. They have 9 court, right? They have only the 1, 2, 3, and then the back court, the
3
7,
back
8,
ones, right?
7, 8, 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's 6 courts at Pickleplex. There's a QR code on the court, and there's also a button on the wall. Mm-hmm. So you scan the QR code, and what it does is they have cameras, and it records your game. So if you want to watch your game back and okay, what did I do wrong here? But also, if you do like a highlight reel play, you run over to the wall and you hit the button, and it'll actually clip that 30-second span there for you. Yeah, which was really cool. So like Vic recorded all of our games via the PlaySide X. I think except for one, you had to use your phone because it was down for maintenance or something like that.
Yeah,
2 games.
Yep.
But once Vic gets through the footage and stuff, we'll definitely post that up on. We'll post some of them because I think Vic doesn't want to post some of the matches the way he's been talking about his play.
Yeah, you probably look at it. Oh, the Vic is just a 3-5. I can beat him quickly.
But
what's he doing in the 4-5 division?
But who knows? We might splice and just do the highlights because there was some good highlights in every match. So, but yeah, we'll post some of it up so you can see kind of what the footage likes. But the cool thing is if it goes live, you can actually watch your friends and family can watch on their phone. So like if you're when at our MIOP event, because we'll talk to Ryan and figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
But
hopefully we can live it.
Hopefully we can live it, and then say if I'm down playing and like my mom and dad want to watch, I'll say, well, hey, we're on court 9 right now. Just go to the PlaySide app, go to Pickleplex Red Deer, hit court 9, and then you'll pull up the live feed, right? So. Mm-hmm. And like I did that for some of Team Canada's stuff at the Forge during the World Cup, and actually when the Pickleplex had that play against the pros, and the pros were using, like him and Jacob were using like the frying pans and stuff. Yeah, I was at work on site, but then we had like a little break period, and I pulled up the Play Site app and was actually watching some of that event.
Nice.
Happen live, right? So that's a really good feature, which I think a lot of facilities should start looking into. So like I don't know for Vin and Michelle, if you listen to this, Declan and you guys, if you listen to this is like a really cool feature that like the nice thing is it might cost you a bit. I'm assuming it costs to have it at your facility, but it's self-run. Like you don't have to like do stuff with it, right? So and it's just an extra feature to add to have for members and people using the facility, right? So I think that's a really neat thing. Is there anything else we want to add, Vic, before we wrap it up for the year?
No, I think that's pretty good. I think definitely thank you for all the listeners supporting us. Continue to listen to our podcast. We're always trying to help grow the game in pickleball in Canada, and we're obviously we're not getting people just think about this. We're not getting paid. People think it's like, oh, you're getting paid. You're getting a lot of stuff in podcast. Hey, we're literally using our free time. Like you seeing me, okay? Just like support me. I'm sacrificing my time with my daughter, my baby daughter, to talk to you right now.
Oh, he's playing the baby card. I like it.
Yeah. So we please subscribe and listen to our.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely a labor of love right now. Like we have been very blessed to have some sponsors and stuff who've helped us out along the way with like some free paddles, some free gear, or some stuff where we can earn commission on. So yeah, so if you look in the information underneath the episodes, you'll see all of our sponsors we've got listed where you can enter the code and we get a little bit of kickback from there. And everything a little bit helps because it helps get us to these other events so we can cover them better and stuff like that. Helps buy equipment for like the podcast and stuff like these mics and the lights and stuff like that. So it's always fun with that. But yeah, thank you to everyone for watching. We hope you guys have happy holidays, regardless of what you celebrate. A happy new year, and we will see you guys in January. Probably about the third week of January. I'm gonna take a stab at, and we'll do like a lead up to the CNPL draft. We might have an interview to throw on there, and we'll probably Oh, Vic, we actually forgot to announce you and Jesse are going to be doing a referees episode where you guys are going to cover the new rule changes to the USAP rule book.
Yeah, so yeah, for people that are listening, I'm already holding them. So the 2025 rule book is already out. You can already download on the USAP website, and they also have a second book, which is that the rule book change document that is outlining all the changes they're gonna put on for the next year. There's not a lot of there's no big substantial changes, but there is some of them you probably want to know for your 2026 season, so you don't get surprise. I guess when you can start playing those tournaments. Me and Jesse, which he is on level 2 referee in pickleball Alberta. He will be joining me. We'll be talking a little bit about those rule changes and why it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah, exactly right. So look for that. We'll definitely post it on socials when that one goes up after that's recorded. And so it'll be nice for so that way you're like Vic said, you're not surprised by any of these rule changes. Vic already kind of discussed a few of them with me. They're not super big, but a few of them are, if you're not paying attention, will affect you in a game. So
Yeah, it can cost you some way.
yeah, exactly. So once again, thank you everybody. Have a happy holidays and a happy new year. We will see you guys in 2026.
Yes, stay healthy, stay safe, yeah, everyone.